So here's the scoop. I really need to clean up this pile of wood. It has two problems. One, we can't mow here, and two, I feel like I don't have a trailer because it's been holding that wood forever. The other part of it is we're kind of out of wood storage. When we got the free wood, I just overestimated like how far it would go when it was stacked, and I'm gonna put it in these two lower stacks and see how far that goes, and then figure out what's what. For the biggest rounds, which by the way are the most fun to split with the log splitter, I think I'm just gonna store them. Like, if you take a piece of wood like this and visualize how many things are in it, it actually goes a lot further than you might guess. Like that on top of a stack of wood is something, but when you get all the air in the spaces and dry it out, it's a lot. So anyway, Colin and I are gonna split and stack some wood so we can clean up the yard and the trailer. All right, now, oops, just making sure everything's cool. Colin and I are getting the mower because it runs the log splitter. Hey honey. Just 1 second.
Hey Bob, what you doing?
Jackie's here.
Go.
Don't stop.
Come on, y'all!
So I actually don't wash my tractor very often, but it just seems like it'd be good for it if I did it every now and then. So that's what I'm doing now. Colin's gotten started, as you can see. And yeah, so let's just set up and he's not very experienced with this sort of thing. So, didn't really meet objectives, if I'm honest. I was hoping that area would get all cleaned out and we'd be able to like mow there. I thought it'd just be done. I'm running out of places to store wood. I really should have showed you. It's stacked up like as tall as I am or taller. What do you think? Taller? Same, close. So, I don't know. We have to figure out what to do. I need to confess that I'm a wood hoarder.
You are a wood hoarder.
It just all came at me, you know? Like I was...
You're a wood hoarder.
I bought some wood, and that was great. And then I saw some free wood, and that was great. I was gonna stop there. And then my Adam friend, go-kart guy from Friday's thing.
My Adam.
My... You're not a good person. He had free wood for me, so they dumped that off. And I just have too much, so I'm gonna find a way to store it like not in the stable, and then probably cut it up this winter as we burn it and make room. But and the tractor's clean, or cleaner. So we had this bath mat that smelled like mildew, and Jackie asked me to put it on the clothesline. And I thought since I was out here anyway, I would show you the stacks of wood. This probably nearly doubled in height. This thing here went up by 1/3. This thing here went up by just that. You can almost see the color difference. That went up a little bit. This thing, you can see the color difference too. That went up a little bit. We just sort of raised a couple of them a little bit and raised one of them a lot. And I still have too much wood left. It's, you know, I'm looking at it. It's significantly different. Yeah. All this tall grass area here is tall because previously it was filled with logs, and this area here had, you know, much higher stacked logs. Now it's just like wood shrapnel, but there's still so much left that I think I need a storage solution that is not just the stables. Alright, I thought it would be fun to do kind of a Mail Monday type thing since you're watching this on Monday and lots of people have asked for it, so let's give it a go. Now I have to look here to read, so you'll have to understand. Hey Woody, I was going through my computer that I use for things like playing games with friends, where my dad also uses it for business, typically early in the morning. I was going to go through some of the files to try to find something for myself, and I found that there was a file hidden in a folder that only he would go into typically. I did it because I was trying to find something completely different, a picture, and I was searching everywhere. I ended up finding over 100 videos of porn in it. The only problem is that the only people that use this computer are my dad, myself, and my 13-year-old brother, who I'm positive wouldn't know how to download porn without getting any viruses, malware, etc. Also, all the files were created through a series of 2 months between the hours of 4:50 a.m. and 6:20 a.m., which in my house, he's the only one that's ever up at those hours, trust me. Problem is, he's been married for over 25 years. It's a healthy marriage with no outlying problems and works. And he's worked since he's gotten his degree as a marriage, and I won't say his job because I'm gonna let that go. Our family's pretty religious and extremely Christian. I'm 17, I listen to PKA and spend a lot of time consuming and creating media, so I know the ins and outs of the internet, and obviously porn doesn't bother me, especially while listening to Painkiller already. But it bothers me knowing that if my mother found out about this one day, that it would ruin their relationship, and I can't believe my dad is risking that, especially with a son who's in middle school getting ready for high school in a few months. Obviously, I don't want them to get divorced, but having a brother at that age and getting into a divorce would be not have a positive effect for him in his teenage years. So what do? I feel stuck. Should I just keep my mouth shut for the sake of everything? Should I confront him personally? Thanks for taking the time to read this, etc. You found your dad's porn? This is not a big deal. I recognize by the tone of what you've got going on here, and you made a throwaway account to write to me that it's weighing heavily on you. But dads have porn. Chill, you know, like that's just how it is. I remember when I discovered my dad's porn collection. Way back in the day, it wasn't files on a computer. It was stacks of like nudie magazines. It must have been. I was young, so everything seemed bigger. But I bet he had 2 feet worth of like nudie magazines. And I remember this. So our babysitter used to pull out like his nudie magazines and look at them with us. Nowadays, I feel like that would be some sort of like sexual predator. People would be all up in arms about that sort of thing. But back in the day, it just seemed like older teenagers introduced younger guys to porn through like girly mags, and that was I don't know, like it happened in my life, it happened in the movie Stand By Me, it happened, I felt like it was a pretty natural evolution where older guys would be like, dude, do you know about this? This is the thing, you're gonna like this. And you know, it would now, oh my god, can you imagine like an 18-year-old showing porn to like a 12 or 13-year-old? Like that would be insane. So anyway, and we'd look at these magazines while my parents were out at dinner or whatever it is they were doing, and he'd be like, this one is sexy, and you know, this girl here is foxy. And it was a real like point of stress in my life at the time, because I wasn't sure if I preferred foxy women to sexy women. I mean, they both seemed to have their advantages. I was a big fan of both, and I just didn't know. Anyway, you found your father's porn. Yeah. Your parents are not the virgins that you're painting them out to be. I want to get crude on this, but you know, all the things that you dream of doing to a girl someday or with a girl someday, your parents have done together. Your mom may be fully aware that at 4:50 in the morning, your father's taking care of business. Your mom might be happy that she doesn't need to be up at 4:50 in the morning to do it herself. You don't know. You don't say a thing. This never happened, and you know, cut us some slack. I don't think it would destroy your parents' marriage. I bet that they're both in on it, and yeah, this whole notion that like, you know, oh my gosh, you know, my mom would be so upset if she found out that my father had all these sexual thoughts. I bet she wouldn't. I bet she knows that your father has sexual thoughts, hence the existence of you. A little over a month ago, my mother was diagnosed with breast cancer. The usual shock and tears were gotten over within a couple of days. We have everything on our side. A loving small community, a hospital down the road. My dad is a surgeon who deals with patients like this on a daily basis. Between my 22-year-old sister and I was the stronger one. I had to be. I'm the one living at my house with my mom and dad. I like to think I'm the positive, pragmatic sibling here. Yesterday, my mom underwent her second of many chemotherapy treatments to come. She's losing her hair, and while she tries to hide it, she feels terrible. What for me was once a calm and focused mindset towards the situation in my busy life, now being crowded with more and more anxiety to the point where I'm unable to handle it. I know you've been low before, probably lower than this. What did you do, and what can I do to pull through? I recognize that this situation is super tough. Your mom has breast cancer. All cancer is tough. My wife is going through this right now. Her mom has cancer. She doesn't have as much going for her as you do. She's 75. I only mention it not to turn this around and make it about us, but to let you know that, like, I don't know. I feel like I'm not far from the same situation. While the situation is tough, and I recognize that, your job is simple. You have two roles in here. You don't need to be the backbone of the family. You don't need to have some super amount of strength. You don't need to, to find a cure for her. There's professionals and the rest of your family to handle all of those tasks. Your two jobs are these. One, make sure that your mother feels loved. That's priority number one. She needs to know that she has the love and support of her family. She should be bathing in the glow of having a good thing surrounding her. That's it. If I had cancer, the only expectation I would have of my kids, or the biggest expectation, would be that they show their love towards me. There's nothing else I really want from my kids. From my wife, I might need some nursing, I might need some care, things like that, pick up some of my responsibilities. But from my kids, number one is making me feel loved. Number two is helping out with some of the things that I used to do, right? Does your mom carry the biggest burden on doing dishes? Does your mom, pick up things around the house? This is an opportunity for you to step up and be helpful at some of the things that she used to do. And I'll tell you this, from a selfish standpoint, and I swear I didn't know it was going to work out like this. When my wife was pregnant, I was like the son-in-law that stepped up. Jackie got big and she couldn't tie her shoes very well. She couldn't pick up socks off the ground. And without a moment's hesitation, I was always there to tie a shoe, to help with the laundry, do the things that she did. And, I kind of recognized her as having a special kind of handicap that prevented her from bending at the waist, really. And 2 decades later, I guess that's not true. The oldest kid's only 16. But, 15, 16 years later, I still get credit for being, so good during the pregnancies. This is who you need to be during the cancer, right? You need to make sure that your mom knows that she's loved, and you need to help out with some of the tasks that you know how to help out with. Are there clean dishes in the dishwasher? Do them. And they'll not only appreciate your help while you do this, you'll get credit for this, right? When you're off at college and stuff, they'll say, man, little Joey, Susan, Larry, whatever your name is, man, he was really great. He stepped up when mom was sick. And you'll forever be that guy, which is a nice guy to be. So there it is. Yeah, awful situation. But when broken down into what you really need to be about, love your mom and give her a hand. Well, that's today's day in the life of Woody. I hope that you liked it. It's going on in my head right now. Some guy like 3 days ago said he wanted boobs in my thumbnail because I was talking about branding and all the stuff that goes into that. And we covered breast cancer today. Does that warrant boobs in a thumbnail? I guess I'll decide later. I don't know. You know, I don't know. But yeah, so like for you just heard me read that. For me, that was like hours ago. My head's in a whole different space now. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, subscribe. I make new videos, I make new vlogs Monday through Friday, and I do a podcast on Saturday. So have a good day.